Hey guys, welcome to another shared news from home. We have the latest in Taylor Swift's battle with Scooter Braun. But before we get into it, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you get future videos. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring, and I'm joined by the wonderful Gabby Gonta and Avery Grooms. Hi. Hello. Sorry, you guys, my computer froze for a second. Hello. Let's dive right in because this is pretty crazy. Anyone tuning in live, we're going to break down everything that is going on with the Taylor Swift's Masters battle. So just to go back in time a little bit, give you a refresh on the history. It has been over a year since Scooter's Ithaca Holdings acquired Big Machine label group, and with it, Taylor's entire catalog of work she released under the label. So basically, Big Machine is where Taylor recorded her albums. They therefore own the albums. They were purchased, and the rights to her work went along with them. As if that wasn't complicated enough, hold on to your hats because it does get confusing. We have now learned that Scooter has sold the master rights to Taylor's first 6 albums. Of course, we know Taylor has made it clear over the last year that she's going to fight for the rights to her work, and she took to Twitter to address this recent sale and sort of cue fans in to all of the latest developments. In a statement, she explained that her team attempted to enter into negotiations with Scooter prior to the new sale, but they were unable to move past an NDA that Taylor was uncomfortable signing. She explained, quote, "Scooter's team wanted me to sign an ironclad NDA, stating I would never say another word about Scooter Braun unless it was positive before we could even look at the financial records, which is always the first step in a purchase of this nature." She added, "So I would have to sign a document that would silence me forever before I could even have a chance to bid on my own work." So basically, before even getting to the table to talk about the sale, to talk about, who it was being sold to, if she could get involved, she had to agree to never speak an ill word about Scooter Braun again. And you guys know this feud runs deep. So what are your initial reactions to this? Are you surprised by her decision? How does this sit with you, Gabby?
I mean, this news is just really so sad and unfortunate. I think it's just a feud that runs so deep at this point, and we keep hearing new developments in the story that aren't great for Taylor's side of it. And, she's a female icon in music, so people are really going to be watching how she responds to this and, if she signed that NDA or not, or like how she is reacting. And so I think it's great that she's still being strong and powerful and standing her ground and not letting up to these people who are essentially being bullies to her, or, a lot of legal things are going on. But in that situation, people are looking to Taylor. Her fans are wondering what she's going to do next. So I'm personally glad she's not backing down or letting him get away with it, as much as possible. But Avery, what were your thoughts about this?
Yeah, I'm not surprised that she refused to sign the NDA just because that would silence her, and that is the last thing she needs in this situation. I'm glad she's using Twitter as a platform to keep her fans updated on a situation like this because it's a really messy, twisted, shady situation that no artist deserves to be in, but this is kind of what comes with signing sometimes with just huge record labels. Where she doesn't get her rights as she should. Her name's Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one who recorded those. She should have more of a say in where her music goes at the end of the day.
It truly is fascinating. I think this battle in particular, is the first a lot of us, this was the first exposure I had to sort of these behind the scenes battles in the music industry. And I'm sure Taylor is certainly not the first artist to experience this type of struggle. So I think it's honestly really great that she, in a way, has just brought some attention to this because when I'm looking at this, I'm like, wow, who would have even thought we would be here right now? Taylor's statement continued, revealing that she learned of the sale when the new owners of her master's private equity company, Shamrock Holdings, sent her a letter. So in this letter, they basically informed her, like, hey, nice to meet you. We're Shamrock and we own your masters now. She explained, quote, this was the second time my music had been sold without my knowledge. The letter told me they wanted to reach out before the sale to let me know, but that Scooter Braun had required that they make no contact with me or my team or the deal would be off. She also revealed that in communicating with Shamrock, she learned under the terms of the deal, Scooter would continue to profit off her catalog for many years. She added, I was hopeful and open to the possibility of a partnership with Shamrock, but Scooter's participation is a non-starter for me. So very, very interesting. We sort of look at how all of this played out. They, meaning Scooter and Taylor, sort of had that initial agreement about the NDA. And then when it came time to potentially loop Taylor back in, it was an absolute non-starter for Scooter's team. And now that Taylor's aware that Scooter will continue to be involved with her music, working with Shamrock is, a non-starter for Taylor. It feels like their feud is growing by the second. And it's just going to prevent any progress on this issue moving forward. What are your thoughts, Gabby, on the steps Scooter has taken, to not let the company contact Taylor, and just the feud in general? It feels like it's just getting uglier and uglier.
It really is. I mean, it's sad to see so much hate going on in the music industry right now between these two, especially, with this new deal. It seemed like Taylor was excited that her music was at least sold to somebody else. So maybe she would have the potential to start working with them, or, just something else would come up where it would be possible. But, clearly, like you've said, as you mentioned, and all the new details of this deal, that's really not going to happen at this point. So that's hard. I'm sure down the road, hopefully, like something else maybe will come up and she'll be able to just have a little bit more of a hands-on approach to that. And it's so strange. I feel personally that it's just like you said, not fully about the money for these people, because they're, they have all the money in the world. She can make tons of more songs, and it's not really about that. I feel like for Scooter, it's this power trip of owning these things and just silencing her. And it just seems really shady and rude, to be honest. And then on Taylor's end of it, she just wants to own the things that are, hers, and that she has a right to be hers. So it's definitely a tough, sticky situation. Like you said, we haven't really seen this in the public that much in the past, but at least she's putting it out there so we can learn more about it. Avery, what do you think?
Yeah, the whole situation just seems super backwards to me. Shamrock should not be the ones reaching out to Taylor. She should have been the ones to reach out to them in the first place, And I feel like it is a power trip with Scooter. He's doing everything in his power to make sure Taylor does not get a say in something she should have all the say on. And I think just because it isn't all about the money, it's more of a personal thing. And these are the songs that really made Taylor and just are classics, and they mean a lot to her. And she can't even perform some of these songs without consent. So this is deeper than just money. It's really just a wrong, messed up situation where she should have all the say and she's just being silenced and has no rights. It's wrong.
Totally. It is such a shame, such a complicated situation. Obviously we still have hopes for, some sort of resolution. But silver lining, glass half full. Back in August of 2019, I don't know if you guys remember this, Taylor said she would be re-recording, her own work, much to, of course, the excitement of her fans. So the only good news we can offer you at this moment is in this update, this big tweet that Taylor shared with this statement. She did include that she has begun re-recording her old music. She said, quote, "It has already proven to be both exciting and creatively fulfilling," adding, "There are plenty of surprises in store." So the idea of re-recording the masters or re-recording these albums basically gives her, some more freedom. First of all, her fans are incredibly loyal. So instead of, streaming Scooter's own version, they'll stream, in theory, the newly recorded version, So it'll definitely give her some power back, give her, some ownership over these songs, these stories, these chapters of her life again, even if it requires a whole lot of work and a very roundabout way to get there. At least she's enjoying the process. I mean, what are your thoughts on this, Gabby? I feel like it's exciting news. It's bittersweet.
It's definitely exciting. I'm a very nostalgic person, so if I was her, I would just be so sad that I don't get those like real recordings, because she was just at a totally different time in her life and the sound is going to be really different, but at the end of the day, you got to do what you have to do in this situation. And like you said, her fans are just never ending and they'll do anything for her. So I think on that case, they're going to stream these new songs no matter what. What do you think, Avery?
I just feel like it's so frustrating. Like you said, she was at such a different place when she recorded those songs. She can never get back into that zone and do that again. Yes, she can re-record them and it'll lead to a lot of new like creativity and inspiration. I'm glad she could have fun doing that, but that's just a very frustrating situation. But I think it's awesome that she had such open communication throughout all this to let her fans know, like, this is the plan, because like you said, Fiona, her fans are super loyal, so they will go stream these new re-recorded songs, not from Scooter.
Totally. I mean, listen, I think you're right, Avery. Like, it would have been so wonderful to see Taylor to choose to re-record all of these songs, maybe put a modern spin on them or get creative with something she's already done just because she wanted to, not because it came about in and of this way. But at least it's something to look forward to. And who knows, maybe one day the legal battle will straighten itself out. Maybe the feud will fall apart. I don't have high hopes there, but I guess anything is really possible. Let's see what some people are thinking in the chat, because I do want to get some fans' opinions on this. When all of this news first broke, we had Team Scooter and we had Team Taylor, and it was pretty fierce. It obviously went all the way down to the fans. Scooter, manages Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, Demi Lovato. So he's a huge force to be reckoned with as well. Let's see if we have any questions ready now. All right. Jay Jobs says, Scooter is toying with Taylor. So sad. Jay Jobs, I couldn't agree more. I think there's definitely an element here that has nothing to do with business. I think it is personal, that's for sure.
Donna said, Taylor getting on my nerves. It's business. Taylor should have made decisions better. Oh, it's totally about the money. This is a different take than we mentioned earlier in the show, but this is a viable option. It could be all about the business. It could be all about the money. It's just a tough situation, and we've said Taylor's been super transparent about it, but I'm sure there's so much going on that we don't even know, so it's hard to say.
Chloe Jagger said, I feel conflicted because I'm horrified by what Taylor has been put through, but also very excited for her to re-record her old music. I couldn't have said it. I couldn't agree more, actually. Like we said, that has to be frustrating to have to go back and try to get yourself back in that zone to re-record these, but I think it will be an exciting new artistic experience for her to do that.
Let's see. Rev, I'm just going to give you a nickname because I'm not sure. Oh, Revolution Child. I get it. They say at some point it shouldn't be about money anymore. It should be about doing the right thing, and you don't take away a person's legacy like that. Interesting take. I mean, yeah, at a certain point, I think depending on your sense of right and wrong in this scenario, Scooter could have let up, or Taylor could have said, okay, I didn't get the deal. It's really hard. I think it depends on whose side you're on overall, but yeah, it's a messy one. And I agree, at a certain point maybe money shouldn't be the focus.
Donna said, Taylor, I think we went through this one, but we love you, Donna. Thank you for commenting. Donna.
Let's see if we've got any others. There you go.
Okay. At Kid Judy 96 says, Taylor Swift, I'll appreciate your giving us time. Excited, courage, and power. Thank you for nice music. Yes, Taylor is simply an icon in the music industry, and we're going to love her music no matter what she comes out with.
All right. Oh, looks like that is all of the messages from the chat we have time for now. You guys, if we did not get to your take on the Taylor versus Scooter of it all, hop into the comments. Let us know your thoughts. You know, what are your thoughts on the initial deal? What are your thoughts on the latest development? And are you excited to see Taylor re-record her masters? Because ultimately, through all of this messiness, we are getting some sort of new Taylor music, which as a fan, I feel like could be exciting. Let us know all your thoughts and feelings down in the comments. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos or live streams. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring. You can follow me on socials at Fiona Zaring. Gabby, where can they find you?
You can follow me at Gabby Gonta. Avery, what about you?
You can follow me at Avery Grooms.
Amazing. Thanks, guys. And